It's that time of year again, graduation season, and I was walking outside the other day and driving, and I've seen so many people in their graduation gowns and caps, and I just see these kids who are just like starting out on their journey, on their path in life, like fresh faced, dressed up, having the time of their life, super happy, getting ready for these ceremonies and banquets, and have their whole life like literally in front of them, and the unknowns of what that looks like maybe for some, or some have a direction of what they're doing. And I felt something sort of watching this, like, I don't know, not nostalgia, not this like jealousy of like, oh, I wish that was me. More like this recognition, because I remember the pressures of grade 12 where it was like this invisible like script or narrative that gets handed to you where they say like, oh, like you're gonna go finish grade 12, then like what university are you going to? What are you taking? What job are you gonna get once you're done school? Then are you gonna get married? Are you gonna have kids? Like buy this house? Like then like run away from like the life that you have to be like, okay, I finished my 40-year job with a pension and then like retire from your life and like thinking that's your life's happiness. And looking at that for like a lot of people, that's genuinely what they wanted to do, like go to school, get married, have kids. That's the narrative that society has taught us. But then for a lot of people, that's genuinely like not what they want. Like for some of us, like we've tried to fit into the mold, to the system, what we're taught by parents, family, friends, relatives, like the pressures. And like I always felt out of place from that. I did not do well in school. I like got by. I had certain subjects that I did like biology, gym class, like being active sewing was like a thing for me. But I just felt like I never fit the mold. I felt alone. I felt out of place. Like nothing really synced up with me for what everyone else was doing of like getting really good grades and like needing that to get into certain education. And yes, like certain schooling, I've talked about this before, that you do need to go to school, like nurse, doctor, lawyer. You have to have certain grades to achieve that to get into those schools. And that's great if that is a goal that you've always had and set out for yourself. But like there's no life manual. And we never received saying like, this is your path, this is what you're supposed to do. And for a long time, like people and myself included, we thought like this is wrong. Like, why do I not feel like I know what I want to do at a grade 12? And I originally wanted to like go travel, go do these things, not settle down. And then in high school, I realized like becoming a first responder was a way of me like thinking that was a gift I had, was to serve and help others and not sit at a desk and get out in the community and help people. And didn't necessarily need to go get a higher level of education for this. And then, what I've realized, the reason I didn't fit into the box, the system, is that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to own something of my own, work for myself, not have other people tell me like how big I could dream or how little I should dream, or them telling me what I can and can't do. And in this episode, like this is for those people who just don't fit the box, don't fit the narrative, and don't want to stay small in the system. Um, like I wish someone had told me earlier that like not everyone is meant to fit into that, and it's okay. Like we're not all supposed to go in that direction and meant for something else completely. Like that's my identity and who I've been for so many years, is this first responder, still being of service to people. And kind of that's how I felt seen, or how I showed up in my life and felt like that was my way of giving back and what I was supposed to be doing. And it's like not a flaw, it's just a signal and like something that we need to talk about. And I just put some talking points in here because I knew that I would forget, because there's lots that I wanted to go over. And it's just like, yeah, like today, like we're not supposed to fit in. And we have this whole world set out for us at 17, 18 years old of staying inside this like specific lane that is taught to us in like the school system of like you go to school from 9 to 3, then you have like some extracurricular activities, but like using this as a mirror for like the moment of like watching these young kids, realizing now, reflecting back, that I'm like still so good that I did not attend secondary education, excuse me, and just like kind of wish I took this time to t reflect more of like, you don't have to go to school and take general studies. Like, take a gap year or whatever they call it, take time off, really figure out like, what are you good at? What do you like doing? What lights the fire under you? How do you like give back into society? And like, I don't know, like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? And life changes. Like, that is the point. You are supposed to grow and evolve and change and have these relationships that something teaches you something. Like, yes, there's mistakes, but those mistakes also always, there's always a lesson to be had from any of that. And it's not wrong. Like, just try not to fall under the pressure of what everyone else is doing or family expectations, social comparison, like I said, the cultural norms. Like, again, being outside of the box is okay. It's not built for everyone to stay small into that conformed single box that's there, and everyone is different. The feeling of not belonging is actually a signal for you. So, like I said before, like constantly feeling like you're out of place, um, you're meant to be out of place. You're not supposed to be like everybody else. Like I heard a podcast the other day and it was like being weird should be like the new normal. Like if you're normal, that's totally fine, but like I'd rather be weird. I'd rather be unique. I'd rather have people like not understand what I'm doing or making these shifts and changes where I'm in right now, this process of like giving up like fitness and nutrition coaching and taking a step back and like closing off doors that no longer fit and then expanding things in my life that feel like I need to lean into, or people are coming into my life and making these shifts and changes and helping change my perspective more too. And that it's okay. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to conform more if that's what you've been trying to do. Like lean into what feels right. And sometimes that discomfort is something to pay attention to as well, where it's like, it's not a flaw. It's this discomfort could be like a compass and something that's guiding and directing you. And um, fitting in is not the cure because you're still going to always have this thing in the back of your head, like the what ifs, like what if I went this way? What if I tried this instead? And just paying attention to those signs and finding the people that you relate to and align with. And just when it starts to finally make sense. Um, and then second point, like designing and creating the life. I heard this in a podcast the other day too, is like always creating in your life and creating the life that you want that you don't need to retire from, like something that you can continue doing and you're not trying to escape from. Again, this is like my relationship, my husband, my kids, like I've created that now where I thought I never wanted that. And now I've created it. And I'm like, I would never try to retire or run away from it. Like I want to keep creating and building with my husband and my kids and business and this whole big goal and dream and vision. And I still don't even know what that fully looks like, but I can just feel it and sense it. And I'm in this place of peace now and comfort. And it's just like totally different for me where I'm always chasing, always feel like I needed something in this hyper vigilant, hyper arousal state where I was just busy all the time and avoiding the stuff that I actually needed to really look at. And now that I've taken out so many things in life that were distractions, I can actually see things and clarity and getting back into who I feel like is the authentic version of me, which that was like happy-go-lucky young Tracy, like elementary fun, dancing, music, like all these things that are now coming back into my life and not avoiding things. And really realizing like what were you actually built for? Again, like I've talked about spiritual gifts. I'm still figuring out what some of those are, or if there's new things and purpose and like ministering in my life about like my home. That's where everything is the starting point, and then everything else branches off of that. I used to have like a lot of acquaintances and friends, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but they came into my life, they've taught me things, and then sometimes those things have faded away and relationships have closed, even if it's family, like not being around things that don't align with you. And it's okay that people maybe don't get you, but if they still support you and you want that person in your life. But I have like 3 to 5 people that are allowed to speak over my life or talk to me about certain parts of like business, faith, God, life in general. And I don't allow other people to take up that space or get that energy from me. And entrepreneurship is like not just a career choice, it's a personality. Like I think has been wired into me. And I used being a first responder as like that stability of that job and serving. But there's always been like a side project. There's been a side hustle. I've always had network marketing businesses. I've started my own businesses. I opened a gym. Like there's always been something there that I just want to work for myself, being in service, serving others on like a bigger scale and a bigger level, leading without needing permission from other people, like other supervisors, other companies, like I don't know, just necessity for myself and like ignoring that wiring or that constant fire of something like you're going to get resentful, you'll feel trapped and taking a step back and like looking at what you really want. Um, so when you stop trying to be good at somebody else's narrative, like being in that box of story, you find out like the game and life you were actually supposed to be born into and play. Point number 5, what to say to the person like who feels lost. So again, like if you've graduated and everyone keeps asking you, like, are you in school? And you're that one person that's like, no, I haven't decided what I'm doing. And people are like, oh, and like talk negatively or like, you need to figure that out. And then you're like second guessing everything you're doing. Just like normalize the path of like, your path is going to look different. Yours is going to be messier. You're going to go through all these things, lessons, mistakes, failures. Nobody's going to understand or get you besides the people that align with you and that you want to bring with you on this journey and vision and mission that you're going on. And like, it's going to be lonely. You're going to be, friends are going to drop off, but it's also like not lonely at the same time because the right people are going to come into your network at the exact right moment of when it's supposed to happen. And like just being on a road that you like, you're on a road that doesn't have a lot of signs yet. And that's totally okay. Like reflecting on this, like sit down and write out like where are distractions in your life? Where's time being taken up? Or who are people that you're hanging out with that just like doesn't feel right? Jobs maybe that you're at that you're just staying there for the comfort when you know like you're ready to lead in a different way, or starting the business that you've talked about for years and listening to podcasts, getting advice, talking to other entrepreneurs, like getting mentorship from those people to help you get to where you're going. There's so much like information out there now, like AI, like you have all these resources at your fingertips, to help you figure out what it is that you want to do. But again, like I've never felt like I fit the mold. Um, so the question is going to be, are you going to lean into it or are you going to run from it? Um, Take time, sit in silence. Like you don't need to have TVs on in the background. You don't need music on all the time. You don't need to constantly like going out and doing things. Like have a day where you just sit and think and meditate, journal, sit outside, go for a walk, like do all these things that are going to bring up creativity in you. Um, and just know that it's okay to not know your direction or your path, but to really figure out the alignment and just being authentic to yourself and block out all the other noise from everybody else that's trying to influence you.